Hello, welcome to Happy Life with Coach Lai. In this video, we're going to talk about how to manage a good marriage. Before we start, please remember to click the subscribe button so that you'll be notified of my future videos. I've been married since 2006. That's 14 years. 14 years with my wife. We have our highest of high and our lowest of low. And in between, there's a lot of small obstacles that resulted in small quarrels, sometimes big fights. But we do have our mechanism to mitigate all these things, to resolve all the conflicts that we have in our life, in our marriage. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all how to manage a good marriage with all the methods that I know through experience and also from what I read in the books. When you're married to someone, you know you're going to spend your whole lifetime with the person. So would it be important to know the personality of your spouse? If you know the personality of your spouse, then it will be much more easy for us to communicate to our spouse. In order to know the personality of our spouse, we have to read a book called Personality Plus by Florence Littauer. In the book, it describes four different personalities, mainly the sanguine, the choleric, the phlegmatic, and the melancholy. I won't be describing all this personality in this video because it's going to be a very lengthy video and it's going to be on the whole book. But what I can recommend to you is actually buy that book, read that book, and apply what's been learned and communicate effectively with your spouse. Another thing that we need to do on a daily basis is to touch our spouse. Remember, touching someone is a sign of affection, of trust. And when you touch someone, it gives someone a sense of security that you care about the person. I read somewhere that for a healthy relationship, you need to have 7 touches a day, which is with your spouse. Okay? But it's not like you touch your spouse in one shot 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. In a day, you touch your spouse in different occasions. Let her or him know that you care. You want to show affection. Remember, touching is a very important thing in a relationship. Do you know that your words can be the songs of birds or the venom of a serpent? Whatever we communicate describe how we feel and how we see something, how we look at someone. In a relationship, we have to use words to express our love and affection to our spouse. Words like, I love you, I need you, you are great, I appreciate you. All these words should be used on a daily basis so that your spouse knows that you are expressing your inner feeling to him or to her. Then your relationship can go into the more in-depth and more secure. Another word that we have to always use to our spouse is thank you. That word is a sign of gratitude. It's the appreciation towards our spouse for the things that they do. As I say in my previous video, people got a sign on their forehead saying, I want to be appreciated. It is especially so to your spouse. So remember, say thank you, show appreciation, and your spouse will really appreciate that you appreciate him or her. When was the last time you go out on a date with your spouse? Was it 1 month ago? Half a year ago? 1 year ago? Remember, for a relationship to work, you always have to rekindle the fire, rekindle the love. So make a point to go out, date with your spouse, have a candlelight dinner, go to the beach, spend a romantic evening. I understand that household chores can be tedious. I know that each one of you want to go home, have your dinner, then after that sit in front of the TV or your computer, just watch Netflix, watch HBO or YouTube, whatever type of entertainment. However, you leave your spouse to do all the house chores. Now that's unfair, and your spouse will feel unfair too. So you have to go down to the ground, help out, do the chores, share the chores, show to your spouse that you care about your household. Don't leave it to one person. You married your spouse. Then in a married life, you share responsibility. That includes the house chore. So remember, help out. As you know, every now and then, you will have an argument with your spouse. Sometimes it's over small things, sometimes it's over big things. But when you feel that there's an argument brewing in the wind, walk away. But I'm not saying walk away forever. I'm talking about walk away for a few hours. Let the fire douse off. Let the flame of anger be extinguished first. Let your head cool down. You see, you cannot solve a problem or settle an argument with an angry head. You just can't. Because with that kind of emotion boiling inside your head, you're going to make the argument even worse. So remember, if you feel an argument coming, walk away. After a few hours, come back, sit down with your spouse, nicely talk over it. Look for a solution. Don't blame here and there. And remember one thing, when an argument starts, right, sometimes the cause of the arguments is us, not our spouse. Remember, whatever happened, look at ourselves first. Don't blame other people. Now, money is a very sensitive issue. Couple fights over money. The fight can be big or small, depending on how much is being quarreled. But how do you prevent from such argument? First, you have to make sure that you save before you spend, and make sure that you have invest your money, and make sure that you have sufficient emergency funds. But I'm not going to talk in depth into how to manage your money. You can actually watch my video on how to manage money and learn from there how to properly manage your money so that you won't get into any argument with your spouse on money issue. With all the points that I've talked about in this video, I hope that you can learn and apply what has been taught here and improve your relationship with your spouse and make your marriage a happy and prosperous. And I hope to see you living a happy life. Thank you, and I'll see you again in my next video.